going on with my hair? Mm. Good morning, everybody. Not sure if anybody's on yet. Happy Sunday. How's everyone doing? Mm-mm. You can kind of see the library there. Right there. It's all done and decorated for spooky season. I don't know what the heck is going on with my hair this morning. It's all over the place. Hi, Jen. How you doing? Good morning. Emma's here too. Happy Sunday, everybody. Good morning. Hi, Robbie. Thank you. Yeah, it's looking really good. I've got my spooky tree. Where are we? Right here. It's not lit up right now. I should have lit it up for sprints, but I didn't. Yeah. Super early Sunday morning. It's going to be really hot here today, so I think I'm just going to be hanging out in the basement, honestly. What's everybody up to this morning? I have to finish editing a video. I shot it yesterday, and I had my air conditioner on, and so there's, like, this low hum through the whole video. So I did figure out kind of how to do the reduce background noise in my editing software. So I'm working on that right now. So probably at least for the first part of sprints, I'm going to be finishing up that video. So I am doing a post later today or later this morning, I guess, for Vamptember and what I'm planning on reading and watching for that. Mostly watching, I think, because my pile of possibilities is already big enough as it is. So yeah, we're mostly watching things. We watched Underworld last night. I actually said in the video that I'm very much a traditionalist when it comes to vampires, but Matt likes the actiony ones, like the Underworld, Van Helsing kind of vampire movies. So we turned on that one last night. Good morning, Jackie. So happy you're here. Yes, this is my hilarious House of Frightenstein hoodie. So I'm probably going to watch a couple of episodes of that this month too for Vamptember. It's one of those things, either you remember it or you don't. For me, it was a huge part of my childhood. I watched it all the time. But Matt is 2 years younger than me and he can't remember it at all. So it's an interesting one, but I love this hoodie. Deep cleaning the kitchen. Oh, adulting. We're adulting during sprints. But at least I have a good audiobook to listen to. Bury Your Gaze by Chuck Tingle. Is that a satire or is that like a serious is that a serious book? Speaking of audiobooks, I did start Incidents Around the House, which is really interesting. I'm not very far into it, just a few chapters, but it's an interesting one because, of course, it's read from the perspective of a child or told from the perspective of a child. So I'm really interested to, once that kind of gets going, to see where how that's going to be. I really enjoyed Baby Teeth, which I read back in like 2020, which was also told from a point of view of a child. So we'll see how this Incidents Around the House goes for me as well. Oh, I missed one. Cooking breakfast, doing some chores. Perfect. Lots of adulting going on during these sprints. Relaxing after a late night, feeling the post-concert magic. I did see your post. What was it you went to see, Jackie? I can't remember now. Was it Pearl Jam? I can't remember. Is anybody else taking part in Vamptember? I'd be really interested to know. So I'll have my video up, like I said, later on this morning. And I saw Beetlejuice the other night. And it's one of those ones that you're kind of apprehensive about seeing it because you're like, oh, are they going to do it justice? Are they going to screw it up? But I was pleasantly surprised. I left happy. I laughed the whole way through it. It was, in my opinion, it was peak Burton. So, I was really, really happy with it, I have to say. And I was surprised that the theater wasn't more full for it being opening night. Um, so that was kinda nice. Pearl Jam, high five. 65 degrees in the morning, so nice to take the dogs for a walk and listen to my audiobook. I Will Find You. I don't think I know that one. Um, but yay for audiobooks. So I have to say, I was it last year? I went for some walks outside and it was like, when like kind of one of those spooky, chilly mornings when it was dark, but the sun was just kind of at twilight. And I was listening to, I can't even remember now what I was listening to, but it was a spooky book. And just to have that on with the whole ambiance of like a fall morning really did it for me, I have to say. So I think for this spooky season, once it starts to get colder, I'm definitely going to be doing that. Good morning. Hello. So happy you got to see Pearl Jam. I'm not jealous at all. Yeah, me too. I'm not gonna lie. Um, to see some of those older, more nostalgic bands in person is just fantastic. Yeah, I really did. I really liked it. I don't know if anybody else here has seen Beetlejuice yet, but if you haven't, I would highly recommend going to see it in the theater. I thought it was really well done. Um, I was there with Matt and a girlfriend of mine, and she thought there could have been more one-liners from Beetlejuice. Um, but I thought it was fine. I thought it was perfect. Ready for a meeting. Everybody's doing adulty things for these sprints, but that's okay. It happens. I know. I'm just coming off of a week off from work, so today is kind of like the last day that I sort of have to myself. I managed to mostly stay offline this week. I was checking in on some stuff, had a couple of coworkers getting mad at me for being online, but such is life, right? So yeah, I think after sprints, I'm going to just relax, probably watch a little bit of Twilight this afternoon. I'm not gonna lie, get some popcorn and watch probably the second Twilight movie. I watched the first one a little while ago, so rewatching the Beetlejuice cartoon now, I watched it as a kid. I always watched Beetlejuice as a kid too. I wanna get like, the DVD sets of it. I think it was just on Instagram this morning, I saw that, Tubi has them now, like, all of the episodes. So, if you have Tubi, which I don't get it here, but if you have it, it does have the original Beetlejuice cartoon on there. Haven't seen the new Beetlejuice, yes, yet, but I'm going to it like a yeah. Yeah, you kinda do have to treat it like sort of in the same vein of, like, the new Ghostbusters movie. It'll never be the original, but a fun popcorn flick, yes. Just give me a little fan service, and it did. I thought it was good with the fan service. I thought it was good with the new story that they put together. But the biggest thing I found with it, it was just funny. It was actually hilarious, and it went to a couple of places that I was like, "Oh my god," and I howled in the theater at some of the things that happened. I thought it was really good, and I thought, like I said, it was peak Burton, so that Tim Burton kind of just weirdness that you just kinda have to go with and not overthink. It was perfect, and I was the same way with the new Ghostbusters movies. The most recent one that came out, Frozen Earth, Frozen Empire. Um, it was really good. I thought the new Ghostbusters films were good. I enjoyed them. I thought it was, like I said, that perfect balance between, like, a new story that had a great storyline, but also had all of that nostalgia factor, so it wasn't too far either way, and this one I thought was really well done as well. No, I didn't. I was going to, um Yeah, but I just kind of opted out. It's so expensive, and Matt and I are, like, on a shoestring budget right now because we're getting our wood stove installed at the end of this month. So there's been, like, no extras lately. I was gonna splurge and get it, but it's just so freaking expensive. I was interested to see how the green popcorn would be. But interestingly enough, there was only, like, 1 person in the whole theater who had, I think she had the bucket. I don't think she had the cup, but she had the bucket, and, so it was strange that only 1 person was in there, but there were a few people dressed up. I saw lots of black and white stripes, and a couple people had green hair, so it was a lot of fun. And definitely not a children's movie. I mean, I don't think the first one was a children's movie either, but, yeah, it had some liners in there that was, like, it was pretty crude in a couple of places, so alright, I'm going to get to editing. I'm gonna bring up the kitty. We're gonna go for 45 normal length sprints, so 3 sprints, 45, 45, 30. So, I'm gonna start up the kitty, and I will see you guys on the other side. How did you guys make out? I feel very accomplished in actually getting that video edited. Um, if you weren't here at the beginning of sprints, I was talking about that excuse me, had my air conditioner on yesterday when I shot my video, and it was super annoying in the background, like the way I had my camera positioned. It must have been really picking up from one of the vents, and it was awful. So I managed to get all of the background noise removed. It's not perfect, but it's a lot better than it was. So video is edited and all the B-roll in, and it's getting posted right now. So I will have the video up soon here on YouTube if you guys want to go over and check it out. It is everything I'm planning on reading and watching for September. Hello, Alicia. Good morning. And Angela's here too from the UK. Good afternoon. Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires. Yes, I have read that one. It was okay. I mean, it was entertaining. Not, completely over the top, but, good read nonetheless. I thought it was okay. So I hope you're enjoying that, Matt. Let me know how you're doing with it. Still in the same spot on the couch. At the beginning of the last sprint, I actually, for only a few minutes, got stuck in a doom scroll. And I was like, no, I've got to put this down and get my video done. So I'm actually very pleased that I managed to get myself out of that, because doom scrolling is just, my husband's upstairs doom scrolling right now. Snazzy Moose, good morning. We're doing good here. I just finished pancakes and bacon. I've got a snack now to help me get through content planning. So now that my video is edited and being posted, I am going to do some content planning for the rest of September. I've got a couple of video ideas bouncing around in my head, so I want to get things planned out so I don't leave it to the last minute. Good morning. So glad to have you here. I'm so happy everybody is here. Southern Book Club is one of my only Hendricks books that I liked. Jackie, did you read Best Friend's Exorcism? I'd be interested to know if you got to that one. I can't remember if you did or not. Southern Book Club, like I said, it was good, but it wasn't fantastic. Hendricks is becoming one of those authors that's like, I used to really like him. Like, I liked Southern Book Club. I loved My Best Friend's Exorcism. We Sold Our Souls was, and How to Sell a Haunted House was a no. So he's kind of gone downhill a little bit for me. Started making, a fairy door. Got as far as spreading twigs and leaves all over the dining table and sketching out some plans. I love fairy doors and like fairy houses and stuff that people have outside. I think it's so cute. Content planning is fun. Wait to see what you get up to. Yeah, there's a few things that I've got going on. I want to talk about movies, things that I've seen so far for 2024 and things that I want to see. Not only horror, but like just things in general that are coming out that I'd really like to see, and movies kind of that I want to get to before the end of the year. It's very much like books, where it's like there's so many movies, so little time, and there's ones that I definitely want to get to. Listening to I Am Legend. Making piñatas for my friends' kids. That sounds fun. I've never actually read I Am Legend. I saw the movie years ago, but I haven't read it. First Grady Hendrix. So you haven't read My Best Friend's Exorcism either. The movie is crappy, by the way. So if you have read Best Friend's Exorcism, don't watch the movie. It's terrible. Didn't really like it. That's interesting. I wonder, because I read it like back when it first came out. I wonder if I read it again, if I would have a different opinion. I find that happens with books kind of as you kind of mature and, get into different things and you read other things and stuff. So interesting that you didn't like it. One is Spider-Gwen, one is a giant dino egg, and one is probably going to be Minecraft. Oh, that's interesting. I like that. Yes. Shit, I can't remember the name of it, but it's coming out in January, right? I believe it's coming out in January. I saw on Instagram somebody had gotten an advanced copy, and they said it was really good. So I am going to give it a try. I mean, like I said, Grady Hendrix is kind of a hit or miss author for me now. Um, but I am going to give it a try and see how it goes. Like I said, his last one that I read, the How to Sell a Haunted House, was just a big no for me. I can't even remember how far I got into. I don't think I was even halfway through, and I put it down. I'm like, I can't do this. Not sure if I should read Hendrix books first or just watch the movies shows. I'm always all about doing the books first, but you know, I don't think you need to. Ordered Horror Store. Oh, I heard a lot about Horror Store. I didn't read it myself, but it was a really interesting concept, like that, like haunted IKEA, sort of. I never actually read it myself because of my love of The Exorcist. Bar was set high, so it might be more of a me problem that I didn't like it. Yeah, and I'm the same way kind of with religious horror. Religious horror is like one of my very favorite horror subgenres, so I totally get it. We used to live here. Audiobook just dropped. Oh, um, we were talking about good audiobooks at the beginning of sprints too. I'm reading Incidents Around the House. If anybody else has read it, let me know. It is actually kind of creepy that the audiobook is read by a child. I tore like my hair with my hairbrush, and it's just not growing back. It's just awful. Random thought. Finally sitting down to eat breakfast with coffee number 2. I have not had coffee number 2. I went straight for the pop in my skeleton cuppy. So I've got some snacks here. Matthew and I typically get up really super early. So this is like midday for me now at 9 a.m. Haunted House was a mess. Yeah, it was. And it was one of those things, like I saw so many 5-star reviews when it first came out on Instagram, especially. So I was like, yeah, and it's one of those things, you get one Audible credit a month. And then I felt like I wasted my credit because I didn't end up liking it. But I do know a lot of other people that didn't like it. And I think it was Jackie. Weren't you the one that actually gave me the whole summary of the book after I said like I was going to DNF it and not go back to it? I think it was you that told me about kind of what happened. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'm glad I DNF'd. It wasn't going to be for me. Read that book in August and absolutely loved it. It's so immersive and creepy. Excellent. Loved Horror Store, definitely better physical as opposed to the audio. Interesting. Okay, so I'm really looking forward to getting further into Incidents Around the House. When I was organizing the library the other day, I was listening to it, and it was definitely the perfect sort of spooky vibes for doing that activity. And I did say at the beginning, and I said in my new video that's just uploading right now, that if you guys want to see an updated library tour, like not just a shelf tour, but a library tour of kind of what I've done and how I've organized, let me know. I do have a small, very, very small haul to do also. So if you guys are interested in seeing the shelves and kind of how I've reorganized everything, just let me know. Yeah, it was you. I figured. Is multimedia, so I hope the audio works well for it. Multimedia books, what was the one that I read? Oh, I can't remember now. And it was multimedia, and I had it on my Kindle, and it was the worst experience because like the newspaper clippings and everything, like I couldn't read them, so I lost a lot of the context. Like I did end up finishing the book. I can't remember now which one it was. And but I will say that doing multimedia on Kindle is definitely not advisable, but I'm wondering about on audiobook, like if they would somehow try to work it into the experience of the audio reading. So that's really interesting. But yeah, definitely don't get multimedia books on your Kindle, that's for sure. I sampled the audiobook for Incidents Around the House. The child voice makes it creepy. Yeah. So I was saying on the first sprint that I really, really enjoyed Baby Teeth. And I read that one physically way back in 2020. I think it was even before I started my booktube channel, and I really enjoyed it. I'd actually like to reread it on audio. Um, I think I can't remember when, but I think the author of Baby Teeth is actually coming out with a second one. And so I would like to reread the first book, maybe even with Matthew, because he's very much along the same lines as me. He loves creepy kids and creepy dolls. Um, so I might reread it with him and then read the second one, especially if they do it with the creepy kind of kid voice. Yeah, I figured you would want a library tour. I'm just happy to have all of the books up off the floor, honestly. Um, it was such a daunting task. Like, I swear to God, I would put one shelf together, and then it was like I hadn't even made a dent, and I'm like, why do I own so many goddamn books? I did unhaul a bunch, not out of my vintage collection, but just like newer books. And one of my goals is to get a lot of my newer physical books read so I can unhaul those and use the shelf space for my vintage collection. So I do still have some physical sort of new books left, but I've been trying to get those on either audio or Kindle so I can use my shelf space for the vintage collection. Yeah, I really like doing the double stack. The only annoying thing is when you have to add more books in a specific shelf in a specific collection, you have to take a bunch down. Um, but I mean, I really do like the look of it, and it just optimizes that shelf space because like I've only got so much space down here, right? So um I really do like the double stack effect. So I just use, I don't know if you can see it. You can see it right there on that shelf. That's a 2x4. So I just went to the hardware store and we bought a couple of sections, and Matt brought a saw home from work and we just cut them out and we made like little feet for them so they would stand up. And it worked out really, really well, and it wasn't that expensive. It turned out to be cheaper than like buying more shelves from IKEA for the Billies. So I'd if you need to optimize shelf space, I would highly recommend doing the double stacking for sure. Enjoyed a multimedia version of Dracula a few years ago. That's interesting. I would like to read that actually. So much fun, but I read it on my phone before I got my Kindle. Paperwhite wouldn't offer the color and yeah, and whatnot. Yeah, I totally agree. And I got to look up that book that I had read previously, and it was a huge book, and I can't remember the name of it. I read it way back in like 2020, and it was when I very first started watching BookTube. It was when I found out like BookTube was an actual thing, and so when I started reading it, like it was okay, and it was getting so many good reviews, and I went through the entire 600 pages, and I was just so done with it and so pissed off by the end. It was like before my time of like, I'm not enjoying this, I'm going to DNF it. But yeah, doing the physical media on Kindle definitely wasn't advisable. We need a color Kindle. Yeah, that would definitely help too, especially with things that are illustrated and these multimedia type things. I definitely agree. I usually read on my Kindle at night, like when I'm lying in bed. Then I don't have, for some reason, when I'm reading digitally, I don't have to wear my glasses. When I'm reading physically, I do. It must have something to do with the backlighting. So I read my Kindle at night a lot. Library tour would be great. I'm running out of shelf space on 4 books. Yeah, I've got 4 as well. Yeah, I would definitely recommend double stacking. It definitely makes use. I mean, in my 3 shelves there, I have 4, but one is full of movies and newer books. But in the vintage collection, I have about 1,500 books on 3 shelves. Like what when I mean like 3 bookcases. So let's see there. So my vintage collection is about 1,500. Of course, they are smaller books, but the double stacking really does make use of the shelf space that you do have. Oh, does Kobo have a color one? I haven't. I used to own a Kobo way like years ago, but then I got rid of it and bought a Kindle. I think Matt stepped on my Kobo, actually. I stopped reading one night and just kinda tossed it on the floor, and he stepped on it. So, I ended up getting a Kindle instead. Yeah, I'm sure they'll probably come out with one. Absolutely. Yeah, so Kindle is not gonna be too far behind, for sure. Okay, I wanna start up the kitty, another 45. We're gonna go for sprint number 2. I'm gonna start content planning, and, so have a good sprint, guys. Let me know how you do, and I'll see you on the other side. How did you guys do? Um, I'm planning out my Halloween-a-thon, activities, reading, watching, all the things. Um, I'm not taking part this year as a host, or as part of the Monster Squad. I originally was going to, but because I've been kind of struggling both with my mental health and, with my reading this year, I stepped away from everything that I was asked to be part of for the most part. I'm doing one podcast episode and doing one YouTube live during September, but I'm not really doing anything else. But I still did want to take part in Halloween-a-thon. It's freaking huge. Kelsey and the rest of the hosts put in so much work. So make sure to check out their videos too if you wanted to take part. And I thought I could fit, because there's so many prompts, I thought I could fit a lot of the prompts into things that I'm already planning on reading and watching. So I've already done my autumn pile of possibilities, but there's a couple of more that I wanted to try to fit in for Halloween-a-thon. But I think mostly what I'm going to be doing is watching and the activities, and not overloading my reading a whole lot. So really super excited. So that's what I did during the last sprint, and I'm going to do in the next one coming up is planning my Halloween-a-thon activities. It's kind of hard to believe we're already in spooky season here, guys. This year just kind of flew by. It was like yesterday and it was April, and we were doing old school April. It was kind of crazy. Okay, so Jackie has left us off to have lunch, do laundry, have a nap. Sounds like my Sunday. It's so funny because people always say to me, they're like, "Oh, what did you do this weekend?" And I'm like, "Chores, food prep, nap." That's pretty much what my Sunday consists of too. So I'll talk to you a little bit later, Jackie. Got to skedaddle. Catch you next time. Thank you so much, Snazzy Moose, for stopping in. Keeping my Halloween-a-thon low key, and I'm doing the same thing. I always tend to really overload myself during spooky season because there's so much. And I kind of promised myself this year that I wasn't going to try to do everything. First of all, for the expense, and second of all, like I just get so overwhelmed and then I end up getting burnt out. And I don't want to not enjoy my spooky season because I'm doing so much. So we're doing a lot of stuff at home. We are still going to some events and stuff like that, but I'm doing a lot of stuff at home and keeping the Halloween-a-thon to a very low key. I was actually talking to, or I put a comment on Christine's newest video from See Chris Reed. She was talking about how she's keeping Halloween-a-thon at a very low key as well. So we have a bunch of us that are not going over the top with all of it. And that's what I like about a lot of these readathons too. You can participate as much or as little as you want. You don't have to do all of the prompts. You can kind of make your own bingo boards and stuff, which is what I'm doing right now. So Jen, you and I can definitely be on the low key team. Us elder goths, elder spooky girls, keeping it low key during spooky season. Got everything I need printed out and got my briefcase loaded. Excellent. Lots of progress being made. 9-year-old is in the mood for some word searches. Oh, thank you so much for stopping in, Em, and I will talk to you later, I'm sure. Em and I talk a lot on Instagram. She's become a dear friend. Drinking coffee out of my new skeleton mug. Oh, excellent. I've got these skeleton glasses or skull glasses. I drink out of these pretty much every day. I got a couple from HomeSense, and it was like a 2-pack. And I think they were like, I don't know, $10 or whatever, which I thought was good when I got them. But then I went to the dollar store and they had almost the exact same ones and they're glass and they were $1.50. So I grabbed a whole bunch more. I got them a few years ago now and I absolutely love them. I have my pop in them pretty much every day. So yeah, we had our spooky charcuterie board last night with wings and stuff. So I always use my skull glasses for that. Low-key Halloween-a-thon sounds like a good idea to prioritize your health. Exactly, I'm trying to be better, I'm trying to be more balanced because, like, one of my best girlfriends who has seen me, like, at the lowest of the low, like, when I got really sick in 2017, she always tries to remind me that when I grab a hold of something, I go from, like, -100 to +250 in, like, 3 seconds, and I get obsessed with things, I do things over the top, I get hyper focused on it, and, I'm trying to be better with that so I don't end up burning myself out because then I just end up getting sick again anyway. So trying to keep Halloween-a-thon low key. I want to get some puzzles. I want to get some puzzles and some more coloring books. Matt and I are having a low key day today, so maybe we'll do some coloring. So we'll stop with the doom scrolling. And I want to get some more Lego sets too. We just built the Hogwarts castle a couple of months ago. That's going to be going on display down here. So I want to get some more Lego sets for over the winter also. I've updated my bullet journal and trying to fill out all of my daily chores into 24 hours. Um, it's so funny because I used to bullet journal quite a bit, but I always have trouble finding a journal that I really, really like. So I'm on half a mind to move towards, like, a binder instead and maybe, like, get some graph paper or something, so it's a bigger space for me to do what I want, and I don't have to worry about the binding, I can take things out and stick things in and stuff like that, kinda move it around a little bit, so I think I'm gonna do that for, my bullet journal coming up here. Yeah, the Lego is so expensive, like, that Hogwarts castle that I bought was, like, I don't know, it was, like, 250 bucks or something, and it was fun, and it took us a long time to put together, so I guess in the long run, it was worth the money, but still, they're so expensive. I haven't seen the Nightmare Before Christmas one yet, I think I saw, like, an ad for it or somebody had it on TikTok or something, but I haven't actually looked into how expensive it is. But we'll probably stick to our Harry Potter theme. So if you guys can see the way my ceiling is, it kind of drops down a little bit in a big section. So where my Halloween tree is on this side, I'm gonna get lower shelves to put along this area. I always forget that my camera is like it's gonna point me backwards. But I'm gonna get some of the lower billies to put along there, and then we can put our Lego sets on top because I need some space to start storing my movies and DVDs again. I used to have so many movies and then I got rid of them because of streaming services and then I got pissed off with streaming services. So we're recollecting a lot of our movies again now. So I need to have a space for them. So, yeah. So for last sprint, we're gonna go for 30 minutes. And I just for me personally, I think the 45-45-30 is perfect. And then we can get some stuff done and move on with our day. I know Kelsey is doing some sprints later on her Patreon. I might join in for that for a little while so I can do some reading. But I'm gonna continue planning out my Halloween-a-thon and coming up with um some more videos for spooky season as well. I've got a couple of things in my mind. The new video for today is up if you guys want to check it out. But I'm going to adjust the kitty for 30 minutes. There we go. Perfect. Okay, bringing up the kitty. So we're going to go for 30 minutes and I'll talk to you guys on the other side. Have a good sprint. Hey guys, how did you guys make out with your sprint? I have my Halloween-a-thon activities put together. So, what I tried to do was base them mostly around things that I had already planned on doing for spooky season, and then added in a couple of other things, mainly with watching, so and activities. So, I think I have about like 20 to 25 prompts that I'm going to be doing. So stay tuned for a video on that. Um, and then new video is out today for Vamptember, and I mentioned in that video that I wanted to do a couple of Buffy themed things coming up here. We have my tattoo vlog that I need to get out as well. I need to finish it and get it out. So lots and lots of stuff coming up. It's always like no matter what, I always end up doing just all the things. So, all right. Good morning, Bad. How are you doing today? I got a good bit of cleaning done now, taking a lunch break before I get back to work. I can't wait to see your upcoming videos. Yeah, I'm excited too. I feel like I'm slowly starting to get back into like my normal groove of things, just after being in this funk for months and months. But I'm also trying not to overdo it as well. But yeah, I'm super excited for the videos I have coming up too. Lots of spooky season vlogs. Did very well in finishing up a book. Yeah, I'm good. Like I said, I'm slowly trying to get out of this funk that I've been in. I think what happened was I was working too much at my adult job, working too much overtime, and I just ended up getting burnt out. And then with already how my brain works, it was just hard for me to do anything really. So super, super excited to be getting back into some stuff. So I think after sprints, I'm going to go read some more of my Buffy book, and Matthew and I are going to watch some movies. We have some like freezer meals that are already done, so we don't have to cook anything, which is kind of nice. I have like a vegan chili that's already made and in the freezer, so we'll probably have that for supper. So kind of excited for that, I have to say. Oh, I wish it was rainy here. With being from Newfoundland, which is very much has the same sort of climate as the UK, uh, just this constant hot, dry temperatures and sun and everything here in Alberta. Sometimes I find it find it to be a little bit hard. I want to have more rainy days. Yes, I'm really excited too. I hope you guys enjoy the videos and the vlogs and everything that are coming up. So, and of course, we're going to be doing more sprints. So, I'm trying to do is every other Thursday we'll have evening sprints, and it just kind of keeps me on track to make sure I'm not working that overtime with my adult job. Sometimes it's necessary, but I put too much pressure on myself to always be doing it. So I'm hoping you guys will keep me in check with the evening sprints, and then of course we'll still do our Sunday mornings. Of course, it's cold and rainy in St. John's. One thing that I really miss about home, Matt lives in my hometown, is rainy, foggy, drizzly Sundays with my mom cooking like a roast chicken or a Sunday roast kind of meal and just kind of lazing around. Alberta, like where I am in Alberta, is one of the sunniest places in the country, and I hate it. Like I just want all of the dreary kind of weather, especially on Sundays. The Beetlejuice movies. So I was saying at the beginning of Sprints Bad that I really enjoyed it. I really did. I haven't heard too many other people talking about it yet, but for the people that I have seen that have seen it on opening weekend, they enjoyed it as well. I thought it was peak Burton weirdness, and it was a good combination of like a new storyline and nostalgia. There was one storyline I thought could be completely eliminated. Honestly, it was almost like it was filler, but it wasn't to the point that like I disliked it or anything. I just think it could have been left out. And when you see it, if you do, I'm sure you'll know which one I'm talking about. But overall, it was really well done. I enjoyed it. Hyper focus and burnout, it's hard to balance. It really, it's so hard, and I'm one of these people that, like, I really care about my clients and my productivity and getting my projects completed and everybody being happy that I put so much pressure on myself because I always think of the things that can go wrong. Like I'm a project manager in my day job. Um, and it gets tough sometimes. I, you know, I would take the rain and the drizzle and everything from the UK over what I have to deal with. It's so hot here and it's dry. And it's always because of the forest fires in BC and down in LA. It's always smoky in the summertime. This year hasn't been too bad, but it's usually smoky. But we are getting a bunch of rain next week. We're getting like 15 to 16-degree days, and rain. And I'm really super excited about that. How are we doing for time here? It's 10:45, so we're pretty much right on time. I think I'm gonna shut sprints down for today. I feel really accomplished. I got my video finished editing and up. I've got my Halloween-a-thon planned out, a couple of more spooky videos planned out. A couple of you did say that you wanted to see a revised bookshelf or library tour with how I have my books organized now, because I did completely revamp how I have them organized. So probably coming up next week, I will have that video out. So happy that you guys wanted to see the new library. I'm really excited about it. And so lots of stuff coming up. And of course, like I said, we're getting our wood stove installed this month. So we'll take you guys along that journey as well, probably in a vlog. So thank you guys so much for hopping on sprints with me. Love you, Jen. Have a good day, and I'm sure we'll be speaking later. And yeah, I will see you guys throughout the week over on Instagram, and make sure you check out my new video. Bye, everybody.